What do you think these have in common? Psoriasis, rheumatism, irritable bowel syndrome, lupus disease, Hashimoto's disease, Addison's disease, vitiligo, alopecia, that's your hair falling out. These are generally recognized as autoimmune diseases. Now, I think that's a mistake. I don't think they are separate diseases at all. I think we need to see them as conditions, different conditions or symptoms almost, if you like, of one disease, which is autoimmune disease. So when your immune system is attacking your body and destroying it, that is an autoimmune disease. And if it's happening, say, in the cartilage of your joints, it creates arthritis. It's known as rheumatoid arthritis. It's arthritis caused by your immune system. If it's attacking your skin and giving you rashes and blisters, we call it psoriasis. It is an autoimmune disease. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about an overall general idea around autoimmune diseases and an avenue of research that has lain dormant for a very long time but is receiving a lot of attention now. Bizarrely, it is a well understood aspect in veterinary science. So a lot of country vets will know about this with livestock and horses, and yet somehow medical science, human medical science, has overlooked it because I think too much of the concentration of our medical theory is around medicines and medications and drugs, and not around what the underlying causes are of a lot of these conditions that we suffer from as we get older. So hang on for this. This is really, really interesting, and it might just be a solution for you if you are suffering from an autoimmune disease. Welcome to Shapefixer. I'm Andrew. I'm a nutritionist, and because of the nature of my work, I do have a focus on managing and trying to reverse medical conditions in my clients through lifestyle choices, particularly around nutrition, especially in those types of conditions where it is an ongoing or a lifelong condition, and the drug treatment, the standard pharmaceutical medical treatment, is a management process rather than a cure process. Now, obviously, when you're ill and you're suffering, you want to manage it as much as possible. So you take painkillers, for example, when you've got pain, but those aren't cures. Those are managements. And a lot of these autoimmune conditions, we just accept that we've got them for life, and we go on drugs for life, which may have side effects, which cost money, and we never actually recover. So what is it with our immune system that makes it attack our own tissues? People talk about your immune system being overactive. So a lot of the times the drug is designed at lowering your immune system or squashing your immune system to make it weaker. And that can have an effect because then it doesn't attack you as vigorously. But having a lowered immune system sets you up for lots of other problems. For example, you're just going to get sick a lot and you pick up a lot of infections because you need a strong immune system to keep you healthy. A lot of drugs are aimed at lowering inflammation in these cases, and that can only be a good thing, bring the inflammation down. But again, you're going to have to do it forever. What's causing the inflammation? What is causing your immune system to attack you? The theory in the new research is that your immune system is not too strong, it's just confused. And it's attacking your tissue. Let's use psoriasis as an example. It's attacking the proteins in your skin, so it would be the collagen in your skin, because it falsely recognizes your proteins as a foreign invader or an infection or something that needs to be destroyed. So it doesn't look right. How does your tissue not look right? So this is now the point, and this is what veterinary science knows about, and human medical science has been overlooking for a long time, and there's a lot of research about this now, and it's actually quite interesting. Now, the research is quite new, and before we can have lots and lots and lots of studies and double-blind tests and wait for 10 years to look at all the results, by then you've suffered enough. So I would suggest that you think about this and accept that there is a lot of anecdotal evidence, there's a lot of common sense, the science works, and see if this is going to work for you. Now, what happens when your body builds skin collagen? Your body takes amino acids from all the protein that you eat, from wherever it comes, recognizes or understands which proteins, which amino acids need to go into which protein, and builds the correct protein so you get the right collagen for your skin. There are about 40 different types of collagen in your body. So your skin now is complete, it's right, it's got all the collagen in it, it should be nice, good, healthy skin. Your amino acids that your body can choose from to build your proteins, I think there are 42 which are called proteinogenic amino acids. There are 42 amino acids that we get from our food that we use to build proteins. It's like having an alphabet. You have 26 letters and you can make thousands of words. Okay, so same thing. Builds these proteins. But there are a lot more amino acids out there. So they're just called non-proteinogenic because we don't need them to build our proteins. It's almost like junk amino acid. Doesn't matter. And we eat a lot of these. But our body will find the important ones and use them to build our protein. Now, some of those amino acids that we don't use, a bacteria will use them, for example. And so your body will recognize a bacteria very quickly as being a foreign invader and will attack it and kill it. And that's what your immune system is supposed to do. Sometimes we will get an amino acid in our food that looks like one of our proteinogenic amino acids. Okay, so for example, arginine, which is a very important proteinogenic amino acid, it's something we use a lot in our body. There is another amino acid called cannabinine, which is found in a lot of plants, that your body can mistakenly use instead of arginine to build your protein. So it's like having a typo. It's like having a spelling mistake in a word. It still works. You can still read the word. It's just not absolutely correct. Fine. You can still read it. It works. So you build your skin collagen using a mistaken amino acid, using the wrong amino acid, not the one that's supposed to be in there. What happens then? Your immune system, which is highly tuned to recognize exactly the right proteins and not attack the ones that are your proteins, will recognize that as a mistake and think that it is a foreign body or an invader or an infection, and it will start to attack the tissue. And that's what happens in psoriasis, where your immune system is attacking your proteins because your immune system is making a mistake. Well, actually, it's not making a mistake. It's too good at its job. It's recognizing the mistake in the construction of the protein and interpreting that as being, hey, that's not us. Our protein doesn't look like that. We're going to attack this. And now you have psoriasis. So what do? You take drugs to lower the effectiveness of your immune system. That doesn't solve the problem. Or you take anti-inflammatories, or you rub steroid cream onto your skin to stop the itching and to lower the burning. That doesn't fix the problem. You have got somehow to get your body to make your proteins out of the amino acids it's supposed to be using. Another example is proline. Proline is probably the most important amino acid in your collagen in your joints. And there is another amino acid which has a big name, acetidine 2-carboxylic acid. I promise I won't say that again. You don't have to know that. That looks like proline. And if you eat food with that in it, there is the risk that you will mistakenly incorporate that toxic amino acid into your cartilage in your joints. your immune system will then attack that, and you have rheumatism or rheumatoid arthritis and terrible pain. Apparently forever. No, it doesn't have to be forever. If you don't eat, I wasn't going to say it again, acetylene 2 carboxylic acid, if you don't eat food that contains that amino acid, your body will not make the mistake, and it will use proper proline amino acid and build collagen and cartilage that is correct, that your body will not mistakenly identify as an infection, and it will stop attacking you. Now, the beauty of this is that it's not very difficult to do, because funnily enough, every single one of these toxic amino acids, potentially problematic amino acids that have been discovered so far, and depending on how you define it and what you read, it's anything between 140 and 600 of them. Every single last one of them that we have identified so far comes from plants. That is just a fact. Now, you don't know which ones are in which plants and what it is you're eating that may be contributing this false amino acid and causing your autoimmune problem and giving you alopecia or giving you irritable bowel syndrome or Hashimoto's disease. But it will be some or other plant product. If you are suffering from an autoimmune condition, and you have been for a long time, and you're spending a lot of money on drugs, and your quality of life is awful, here is something for you to try. It will cost you nothing. It will risk you nothing. There is a vast amount of anecdotal evidence out there from thousands and thousands of people who have done this, and it has worked for them. So I would say it's worth a try. And that is to go 90 days without eating any plant products. Now, hear me out now. Just hear me out. A carnivore diet is not a necessary diet for everybody. You can eat plants. It's fine. Unless you have an autoimmune issue that is caused as a result of eating plants that contain a toxic amino acid. So if you ditch all of them for 90 months, you'll still be healthy because a carnivore diet is perfectly healthy. You might just start to reverse your autoimmune system, autoimmune disease. And if you get that result, won't that be worth it? It's not an expensive course of drugs. It's not an operation. It's nothing you can't undo and go, you can revert back to eating plants if this doesn't work for you. But I would suggest that you try this. I would absolutely highly recommend it. Now, a lot of people find this quite a strange idea because the idea of a carnivore diet doesn't chime with everyone. So let me just put your mind at rest. I am on a carnivore diet, and I have been for 5 months now. But long before that, for several years, I've been on a more standardized low-carb ketogenic diet. I mean, a carnivore diet is a variation of a ketogenic diet. And on a low-carbohydrate diet, I have reversed many, many health conditions, sort of the typical things one expects to get over the age of 60. And I'm now carnivore, and I was already quite healthy, but I really do feel even better. It's absolutely amazing. I have no bloating, I sleep well, I have very good energy levels, my bowel movements are absolutely perfect after 5 months of no fiber. So there's a lot of research into fiber and a lot of science starting to show that that has been a bit of a myth. We don't really need fiber. Our gut microbes can eat fiber, but they don't have to. So you can be very, very healthy on a carnivore diet. Now, my wife is not on a carnivore diet. She's on a more general ketogenic diet because she likes vegetables and she eats green veggies and she eats salads and she's perfectly healthy too. She does not have any autoimmune problems. But if you do, then I suggest that you try a carnivore diet for 3 months to just see if that isn't actually going to solve your problem. Now, the other thing about a carnivore diet is, and this is not what this video is about, okay? This video is not about your religious rules or your ethical choices or whether you love animals and you feel it's cruel to eat animals. those are very personal choices, and that gives you another framework within which you need to operate. And so now you have other things to consider, but that is not my job as a nutritionist, is to tell you what religion to follow and whether or not you should be a vegetarian because your holy book says you should be a vegetarian, or whether you should not eat animals because you believe that the environment is better off covered with wheat fields than covered with pastures with cows grazing on it. That's not my area, okay? I'm just talking about the chemistry, the body chemistry, the biochemistry of nutrition. And this is a very, very, very interesting area of research. And like I said, veterinary science is very clued up on this whole concept of these non-proteinogenic amino acids, to the point that vets monitoring herds of livestock will train the farmers to make sure certain plants are not present in the fields, exactly because those plants will contribute amino acids that cause the animals to malform their proteins and they get sick. This applies to us as well. So try it. See how you go. Good luck. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new content.